Chat Sports. Listen, right now, comment the score, Arizona Cardinals versus the New Orleans Saints, and if you get it right, I'm sending you $25 via Venmo. Yes, first person, let's do it right now. Your friend, your favorite Who Dat expert, Carter the Power, Venmo, $25, we're sending it to you. We had over 100 comments on the last video. I want 150. Let's do it now, Who Dat Nation. Today, we're running through 5 potential trades for the New Orleans Saints on Chat Sports. First off, let's run through 3 positions the Saints need to address. Now, first things first, Saints have a very talented roster, a good enough one right now to go for the Super Bowl, but you could always make it better. Look, the New England Patriots are making moves left and right. Why not the Saints? Starting off with corner, okay? There are plenty of veteran corners on bad teams the Saints can steal on the cheap. And there's one name that's sticking out. I'll get to that in just a moment. Wide receiver. We all know Michael Thomas. We all know Ted Ginn Jr., who could be inconsistent. But after that, well, the Saints need more help there. And there's some really good wide receivers on the market, and we'll get to those in a moment. And then also tight end, Jared Cook. He was out last week against Chicago. He's been up and down. However, he did have a great game against Jacksonville a few weeks ago. But Josh Hill, he's a good backup, but the Saints can get even better. I got a few names for you there as well. Starting off with one player, 4-time Pro Bowl cornerback, Chris Harris Jr. of the Denver Broncos. The Saints will send off a 2020 third-round pick and a future 5th-round pick as well. Chris Harris Jr., he could shut down one side of the field, and that Eli Apple injury at the end of the Chicago Bears game, I know it has you worried. It happened in garbage time. It has me worried right now. Last week we talked about Patrick Peterson. He's also another available option. He looked good in his first game back for the Cardinals. But Chris Harris Jr., he is a proven Super Bowl winner. He would provide some very good veteran leadership. And here's the thing. You can move guys around and put out the most talented defensive backs you have on the roster. Chris Harris Jr. would immediately be a Marshon Lattimore level corner. You can move Eli Apple down to the slot, or you can even play Lattimore in the slot, who is a very good blitzer. So I wouldn't mind a move for Chris Harris Jr. Moving on to player number 2, Robby Anderson of the New York Jets. I think the Saints can get him for some good value. A 2020 third-round pick. The Jets, their season's done. They need to rebuild around Sam Darnold. And why not ship off your most inconsistent Jekyll and Hyde player, who is Robby Anderson? He, to me, is one of the best deep threat players in the entire NFL. Not a great possession receiver. He's not going to get you a lot of first downs. For your PPR fantasy people, as you know, he doesn't catch a lot of receptions. I have him on my team, and he's been a disappointment. But still, he can open the roof off any defense. He is a deep threat that obviously the Saints desperately need. Ted Ginn Jr., he is that current player right now for the Saints, but you do know he can have a critical drop or two at the most inopportune time. Robby Anderson to the New Orleans Saints is a definite option. A.J. Green's another name out there. I know a lot of you have been sending Emmanuel Sanders. He just got sent off to the San Francisco 49ers. It's important to remember this wide receiver market is going to shrink. You need to look at some of these bad teams that are out of the playoff picture, and you can get some good value for some really good players. And I think Robby Anderson in New Orleans offense could be a big-time player for the Saints. Now, quickly, let's look at this Cardinals versus Saints matchup. And to me, the biggest thing to keep an eye on, all right, the Saints are 9.5-point favorites. They are in the Dome against a red-hot Cardinals team that has won 3 games in a row. Now, listen, we all know what Kyler Murray can do with his legs, but the Saints do have the defensive end speed to keep contained. Also, we don't know the health of David Johnson. What are they going to do with him back in the lineup? Will he even be available for the for the Cardinals? Edmonds has been a good backup, but still, you would rather play the Cardinals without their best offensive weapon in the backfield, and we all know about Larry Fitzgerald on the outside. Defensively, the Cardinals have gotten a lot better. Whenever you get Patrick Peterson back on your defense, you're going to be a better defense. With that said, I do think this is going to be a closer game than what a lot of people think. Once again, my final score prediction, 31-24. The Hoodats keep their win streak alive. Will Drew Brees be under center? Probably not. Teddy Bridgewater moves to 6-0 as a starter. First, I want to tell you really quickly about my friends at BetDSI. Listen, go to chatsports.com/bet, type in the promo code NFL120, and listen, you're getting cash money, baby. 120% bonus? Are you kidding me? And it's not just the NFL. It's the NBA. It's the NHL. It's all these sports. Heck, they probably even have cricket on there. Go to BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Boom shakalaka. 120% deposit bonus today from Chat Sports. Okay, you got that? Here's another wide receiver that just had one of the rarest of rarest performances you'll ever see against the Minnesota Vikings. Marvin Jones. The Saints would send off a 4th-round pick for Marvin Jones of the Detroit Lions, who's coming off a 4-touchdown performance. He is the Lions' number 2 wide receiver behind Kenny Golladay. He would fit in perfectly behind Michael Thomas as the number 1 receiver. He doesn't have the same eye-popping deep threat ability and top-end speed that Robby Anderson has. Not many people do, but he is the better overall wide receiver and probably the better overall fit in understanding the nuances of the New Orleans Saints offense. I would love Marvin Jones in this spot. I think Detroit is probably not going to ship him off because Detroit's actually had a pretty good year this year. They've had some very unlucky results. They're 2-3-1. I don't think Matt Patricia and the Lions are going to send off Marvin Jones, but it is a pipe dream to have a player of that ability to fit right in to the New Orleans Saints offense. I want this to be done, okay? I got 2 picks for you, all right? 2 trades for you. But before we do that, I'm going to go back to the top of the video. I want as many comments as possible. Do you agree or disagree with any of the players that we've talked about so far? And on top of that, I'm sending you $25 via Venmo if you give me the correct score of Saints versus Cardinals. I'm giving it to you now. It's going to be Saints 31, Cardinals 24. Okay, just type that down there. It's going to happen, and I'm going to send you $25 via Venmo because my bosses at Chat Sports want to hook you up. Okay? Okay? Do it right now. Comment below. Now, this is going to be a very interesting player to me. And I thought he was going to eventually become one of the best tight ends, especially with Lamar Jackson. Well, Hayden Hurst, I think the Ravens are willing to ship off right now. He's a tight end that they drafted a few years ago, and the Saints could send off a 2024 round pick. I still think he could be a big-time tight end. Now listen, the Ravens have had huge performances from Mark Andrews, and for me, he's been one of the best tight ends in the NFL out of Oklahoma. So Hayden Hurst has kind of taken a back seat. Maybe a change of pace would be good for him in his career. The Saints could use another weapon in their offense. Hayden Hurst, to me, would be a great fit for what the Saints are doing right now. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to Chat Sports yet on YouTube, what are you doing? Come on, subscribe. Don't miss a Who Dat video. Chat Sports, okay? Do it now. Subscribe, like all the social medias. We got you at Chat Sports. And for me, I am at Carter the Power. That is Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all the cool stuff there. I want to connect with you. And of course, I reply to all comments. Now, the final player I want to talk about is Tyler Kroft, Bills tight end. He's the number 2 tight end as well, behind Dawson Knox of the Buffalo Bills, a rookie out of Ole Miss. And the Saints would send off a 2026 round pick This is a player I'm not too high or too low on. If the Saints make a move for him, I think it would be a good fit. But still, the Saints, I still think, need tight end help, and Tyler Kroft could be that important fit, whether it be a blocking tight end or a not so talented receiving tight end, but he is certainly capable. Now listen, I'll go back to what I said earlier. The Saints have a talented enough roster to make it to the Super Bowl now. So, if I missed a player or a position or a trade that you think the Saints could make a move for right now, send it to me in the comments section below. I want 150 comments, okay? Let's do this thing. And also, I was thinking about different positions that the Saints could make a move for. Is running back one? I know Alvin Kamara is still dealing with the injury, but Latavius Murray's been fine. And they're trying to work in Washington, who's also a big-time player on special teams. What about at linebacker? I think they're looking fine right there, especially just that overall front seven's looking pretty good. I don't know. Maybe get another defensive tackle on one of these bad teams to increase the depth there and make the rotation even thicker, but I think they're fine there as well. Then obviously the Saints at quarterback and at offensive line, they look just fine. So I don't think the Saints need to make any moves there. And obviously on special teams with Lutz and Morstad, they're fine there as well. I just believe right now those are the three positions the Saints should really focus on: corner, wide receiver, tight end. Send me a name below. Last week we chatted Patrick Peterson. We also chatted Tyler Eifert, AJ Green. Is there a player out there that you think could take the Saints to the next level? I didn't think Mohamed Sanu would be the player that the Patriots would pick up for a second-round pick. So it should be pretty fascinating. Once again, it's Chat Sports, our trade rumors. Comment below now your score so we continue $25. And make sure you check out our friends at chatsports.com/bet with BetDSI. We're going to keep them coming, baby. The Who Dat Nation. Stick with the Saints. I really think they're going to be in the Super Bowl this year versus New England Patriots. And your friend Carter the Power right here will be with you all the way there.